So I'm now joining the launch of the new Rolls-Royce Black Badge while I'm at home. Yep. I have a question. You know, most of us at home, we don't wear underwear, right? But I don't know why, when I need to attend an official Zoom session, somehow I felt it's important to wear an underwear. Do you guys do the same? Like, I mean, ladies, I understand, right? You have to wear your bra, right? But men, why? No idea. Anyway, let's go on. The Zoom session. Alright, they will let me in soon. We'll see. It's supposed to be 2 p.m. So continue on with my work and come back with you guys.
To your life, there's no turning back. Everybody wants to rule the world. There's a room where the light won't find you, holding hands while the walls come tumbling down. When they do, I'll be right behind you. So glad we've almost made it. So sad we had. The world.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about people like Muhammad Ali, Donald Campbell, even Charles Rolls, these are all risk takers, innovators, disruptors. Well, it seems that something is happening on the Malaysian landscape. Because for the first time, we've never seen this before, Rolls-Royce Motor Cars Kuala Lumpur has a full range of Black Badge cars. This is very rare. We don't see this around the region. That's number one. Number two, of course, we're here also to welcome Cullinan. It completes the Black Badge family. And, of course, who else better to introduce the show than to have the alter ego? Remember, this is the other side of Rolls-Royce, the dark side of Rolls-Royce that we're talking about, than Mr. Black Badge himself, Mr. Anas. May I introduce Mr. Anas, his virtual self?
Greetings, media colleagues. Thank you very much for joining us today. We thought hard about the COVID situation and we felt that under the circumstances, it would be more appropriate for now to do a digital launch. A very warm welcome to the other side of Rolls-Royce. We call this our alter ego, Rolls-Royce Black Badge. More of our customers have been looking for something darker and bolder. A Rolls-Royce which reflects their persona or their attitude to life. They are entrepreneurial, the risk takers and innovators who are transforming Malaysia as we speak. the luxury market is evolving. Younger customers, bespoke cars. Risk is something that runs deep through Rolls-Royce veins. Co-founder Charles Rolls broke records on land and in the air during the 1900s. Black Badge has been created in the mold of this pioneer and adventurer. The very icons of the brand have changed to a darker side, more suited to a similar band of successful people. And here we are going through one of the most life-changing moments in modern times. I think it is a fitting moment to present our latest addition to a transformative family, our pinnacle SUV, the Black Badge Cullinan. I am proud to inform you that we are the only Rolls-Royce dealership in this region that has a full family of Black Badge cars. As you know, Black Badge Ghost, Wraith and Dawn are cars that have become icons in the super luxury world. It is now time for the Cullinan. The cars are back in black. They have not just received aesthetic changes, they have been enhanced engineering-wise. They break the rules. Sports exhaust, carbon fiber and aluminium. What has not changed is the engineering excellence and craftsmanship. I will now leave it to the team to talk to you more about the dark side of Rolls-Royce. Thank you everyone for your kind support, and I hope this digital Black Badge event will be informative. If you have any questions about Rolls-Royce cars, please do approach our communications team. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anna. So, hi again, everybody. Those of you who have just joined us, very warm welcome. And I see, I think Royce Cullinan has just joined us as well. Thank you for coming. There's going to be something interesting for you coming up. And I think I see an Alison from Key Auto. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You haven't missed much. We were just introducing Black Badge. And that really, the focus of today's briefing is that we have Rolls-Royce Motor Cars Kuala Lumpur, the only dealer in this region who has a full complement of Black Badge cars, and also introducing Black Badge Cullinan to complete the family. Before we do unveil, or digitally unveil Black Badge Cullinan, and this will be, of course, led by Sven. As I said, Sven is a very difficult man to get, but he's here. Lucky you. Let's have a quick look at the Black Badge models and the Black Badge family, and who are the players. Let's see who they are. So, if I have the next slide, please. Well, we start, of course, with the famous Black Badge Wraith, and of course, this car is the one that really started the story. This particular car has a Black Badge look to it already, because I mean, look at it. It's a fastback coupe. It's definitely not your run-of-the-mill square Rolls-Royce. So even standing still, it looks fast. It is the ultimate Gran Turismo. It is the most powerful Rolls-Royce that you can get. So when you compare what we call the Silver Badge model, power is actually the same: 624 horsepower, 465 kilowatts. But the torque has gone up slightly from 840 to 870 Newton meters. So this car has some serious muscle. So weighing over 2 tons, it can do the 0 to 60 sprint in 4.3, 0 to 100 in 4.5. You've got a near perfect weight distribution, of course, 4951, and that's obviously front and rear. Now, I should point out, as you may have seen from the movie just now, there are a couple of what we call brand signifiers in terms of Black Badge. You've got the darkened spirit of ecstasy of the Flying Lady. You've got the reversed logo. And, of course, the grille, the Pantheon grille. These are all darkened. And let me also just remind you that owners don't necessarily have to pick black. Anas has got a really mean set of cars, and you'll see some visuals in terms of how black is the range of his cars are. But when you look at that particular paintwork, it is at least 6 layers and polished 10 times over. And also what's special on the Wraith Black Badge are these wheels, of course, which happen to be on the Wraith, 21 inches and 22 layers of carbon fiber. So obviously, this is one of the things that, or differences that you can see. Can I just check that everybody can hear okay? can you give us all a thumbs up? Because we've had sometimes some issues. Great, concierge, you can all hear. Great. If there's anybody who can't, please let our concierge share. Thank you again for joining us. Then we move to the next slide. Now, looking at the interior, some of you may notice that blue has some sort of link with Rolls-Royce. Well, a couple of our media colleagues have noticed that blue has somehow a link with Donald Campbell. It wouldn't be too far wrong. It's cobalt blue. But the point here of this particular picture is Black Badge is bold. That's the first thing that you see in the interiors. So whilst the materials may differ slightly, you've got carbon fiber from stealth aircraft and also aluminium, 0.015 millimeter aluminium weave. You have the same attention to detail in terms of leather, bespoke, and of course that starry night sky, 1,300 plus fiber optic LEDs on the top. And that takes almost a month to build, minimum. Imagine when the owner says, I want to have the night sky the night I was born, or in the case of their children, sometimes they put the night sky of their children. And for the ladies who are on this call, let me please point out to you that this is not a car that is just used or patronized by men. Our first owner of Black Badge in New Zealand was a lady, and she is a fast driver. And so the whole luxury scene, I'm glad to say, is very much changing. Oh yes, one last thing. It's a driver-focused car. So if you have your hands to the steering, I know, Bobby, you would love to get yourself behind that steering wheel. You'll see your blood red tips. And of course, that power reserve that never hits zero. Let's hope we can get that through. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you have questions, do start to type them down. That's A-OK with us. No questions silly to us. Last thing, on this particular side, you will see at the back there's this infinity logo. Those of you, of course, like me, who are Chinese, will go, ha, that is a lucky figure. Well, it is. It was actually put on Donald Campbell's water speed craft when he used to go record breaking. It means limitless power. Let's move on. And here, after this, is an example of a beautiful, this is one that we had in Melbourne, actually, and it is a Belladonna purple Wraith Black Badge. So again, a great example of how you don't need to have it black. Now, maybe some of you might be thinking, come on, Hal, so Rolls-Royce, can it really perform? Let's have a look at this video. Can it perform? Just coming up on the video. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why that car went so fast up the hill was because Wyatt Kong obviously was driving. No, I'm just joking. He wasn't there. He's laughing. No, but we did have, obviously, a great driver, one of our key drivers from our team. But that car has been used in various guises as well as a course circuit car. But a lot of torque, 870 meters. Those of you who are keenly watching that car will notice the handling, very flat. And that's one of the key points, as you can see. A Black Badge Wraith is different. Let's move on, and let's obviously hit the, oh yes, and one thing about that supercar challenge, it did beat a few names. There is a press release on that. Now, to something that we call the bullet train. You might be thinking, oh, but Ghost, isn't there a new Ghost that's out later this year? There is, and we'll come to that at another stage. For now, we have Ghost Series 2, and as I said, Atlas has a really full range of Black Badge cars. This car, V12, 6.6 litre, twin turbo, 603 horsepower, so up 40 from its 563 horsepower, up 20 on its Newton meters, 840 Newton meters. And of course, it's mated to that incredible 8-speed satellite aided transmission. And it's seamless. It's just like one gear, as some of you who have driven Rolls Royces know. It's got, of course, that beautiful luster in terms of the Black Badge paint. Those 22 layers of carbon fiber, when you fold them back on themselves, it's 44 layer. And of course, it is an incredible express train because it's a 4-seater car and can carry your luggage as well. So the kind of thing I would really love to do Singapore KL when we open the borders. Let's move on. And in the interior, there's a nice contrast for you. That's bold, that's hitting your face. You've got a purple, you've got a black, and noted that, of course, you've got the Infinity Beyond. And of course, if you have a 4-door car, what you can't quite see in front of the rear seats is that picnic seat, and of course the rear entertainment system. You've got your Starlight headliner. It's a magical place to be transported swiftly and effortlessly through the country. When we talk about time is of the essence, I should mention that, of course, the clock also has a significance. And the clock in a Black Badge is slightly different. It's also got that Infinity logo. Moving on, just so that we don't keep you away from Black Badge colouring. Now, of course, we've got Black Badge Dawn. Now, Black Badge Dawn is really quite a car, very special, and I'll explain in a moment why in Anas's stable of cars. Firstly, it's a Dawn. It's the only convertible we have. It's very sexy. The roof mechanism is very, very quiet, so it opens in 20 seconds. It's a 6-layer cashmere lining. So when you're sat inside the car, it's almost as if you are in a metal roof car. That's the idea. And of course, when it is with the roof down, you can hear the baritone exhaust. Is this something like just a warmed up version of the car that is what we call the Silver Badge Dawn? I dare say not. This is now 593 horsepower, up to 840 Newton meters. And boy, you can hear the baritone exhaust. Now, all Black Badge cars have sports exhaust. Sorry, did you say sports exhaust? Yes, for the first time on a Rolls-Royce car, you have sports exhaust. And of course, what we do is that we make sure that the sound is not annoying, but more of a rumble. And of course, it's finished to the same sort of standards as all the other cars. Just the next slide, please. Now, inside, and we've spoken to the sound engineer who led the project around Dawn, and he was telling us that their attention to detail was so great in developing the sound system for this Dawn that when they changed the paneling for the door, they threw out 6 months of work, because the Rolls-Royce philosophy is, of course, you do not build the sound system as an afterthought. You build it with the car. That is how you do it in Rolls-Royce. So sit in a Dawn Black Badge and you will be treated to an outdoor concert. Again, Infinity logos, technical fiber in lovely suedes. I've already spoken about the roof. It's a proper driver's car. And those who have driven it have told me they just could not believe it. So what is special, you may ask, about Anas's car? Well, there's something a bit special that we do not see around the region, and that's the next slide. So the thing that's special is what we call Dawn aero cowling. This is something we do not see a lot of around this region. So Anas already has scored with a full Black Badge range. He's also taken on accessories. When you take the aero cowling, you are talking about a properly engineered, proper luxury fitment. Turns the car into a roadster. very sexy, aerodynamic, and as you can see from the pictorial there, it shows you that you can put your personal effects inside. This is a wonderful, wonderful way to enjoy a car and to convert a car. It's a great car to have, and this is very special. Anas, you've got great taste if you are listening to this one. Moving on. So now it's really about time, I think, for us to launch digitally to you for the first time in Malaysia, the Black Badge Cullinan. So I think let's get onto it and let's see what we have with Black Badge Cullinan. I think it's dare to be different. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering, that's probably about 15 million ringgit of car sat in Anas's possession with Rolls-Royce Motor Cars Kuala Lumpur. A warm welcome to Black Badge Cullinan, but also a very warm welcome to Sven. Over to you.
Yes. Thank you, Hal. Also from my end, very warm welcome. My name is Sven Grunwald. I'm the Product and Sales Operation Manager for Rolls-Royce Motor Cars in Asia Pacific. And today I'll give you a virtual walk around of the newest addition in the Rolls-Royce range, the Black Badge Cullinan. Here we have it now in the 3/4 front view, and one thing that stands out is obviously the aesthetics. But what Anas has previously mentioned, it's not all about the aesthetics on that car, but generally on the Black Badge range, it's a mix of aesthetics improvements or changes, as well as technical engineering upgrades to the car to really also put the looks onto the road, right, so to say. From a visual point, there were three key icons and aspects and we put them in dark chrome. And these were the Rolls-Royce badges, the Pantheon grille, and most importantly, Spirit of Ecstasy. These are sort of like the core elements of Rolls-Royce that are in Black Badge version represented in dark chrome. This dark chrome is further enhanced in the lower part of the car, the door sill, as well as the boot handle and exhaust pipe and window surround. So all these chrome elements of the car that you would normally see on a silver badge Rolls-Royce, here we have them in dark chrome. Furthermore, what you can see here slightly from this angle are these very striking red brake calipers, which underpin the dynamic nature and underline the dynamic nature of Black Badge. They come together with these very characteristic wheels, 22-inch forged alloy wheels that are exclusively for Cullinan Black Badge. We have other exclusive wheels for Wraith, Dawn, and Ghost Black Badge, the carbon fiber wheel. The reason here, where we didn't go carbon fiber, where we exclusively went with the forged alloy, is the off-road and the rugged nature that Cullinan brings to the table. Hence, it's something that is better suited for this type of material. If we just step aside from the aesthetic point and look at the technical side, we've done quite a bit to, as I previously said, put the aesthetics on the ground and have the car drive the way it looks. It looks very aggressive now. It's mean. It really represents the dark side of Rolls-Royce. And we've increased it by 40 horsepower versus the silver badge. The engineers were able to get another 50 newton meters of torque. So now we have 592 brake horsepower, and 900 newton meters of torque. And for those of you who have driven Rolls-Royce before, the power curve is beautifully straight, and it is a very effortless dynamic that the car develops and the powertrain develops in terms of the experience there. And obviously with 900 newton meters, even though the car is heavy, but with that V12 and 900 newton meters, the acceleration is really breathtaking. We also enhanced the gearbox for more dynamic gear shifting. So we can now set the car into a low mode. Gear shifts happen much quicker and more responsive. We enhanced the acoustics of the powertrain. So now you have, just as with the other models in the Black Badge range, you do have a better sound. It's not a sound that will wake the neighborhood. It's a sound that gives you this rumbling sensation, and it's really it's a deep sonore kind of nice deep sound. Yeah. Together with the increase of the dynamic aspect of the gearbox, we also increased the throttle response. There are all these tweaks and here and there that we've done to really set the bolts correctly in order to make this car go the way it looks. We also make the anti-roll bar stiffer. Again, something from an engineering point to increase dynamics and especially the steering weight in that respect. With that comes when you want to have a heavier steering weight, you will also want to increase your suspension or improve your suspension response in that way, and we made it more dynamic in terms of its tuning for the increased road interaction that you want to have. If we now go to the next slide, we move towards the inside, and I think for me personally, the inside is one of the most beautiful parts about this car, because we have introduced this new technical carbon veneer that you see here on the top left side of the picture. It's a carbon fiber that is different to the other Black Badge models. It's much more rugged in its nature, reflecting the nature of the Cullinan. Not only that, we've implemented a certain type of leather grain as well, box grain leather, which is on this picture just around, it's in the fascia just around the clock. A box grain type of leather which is historically used in luxury handbag manufacturing, which gives, rather than having a soft leather, you would want to have again a rugged nature leather that reflects that character of Cullinan being an SUV as well. The carbon fiber as such is not only on the fascia, but also, as you can see here, was applied to the picnic tables as well as the door, the side of the door areas for the hand and color-wise, I think one trend that you've seen is that we've been rather bold with color choices on Black Badge, and this is something that not only we've been doing from a central Rolls-Royce perspective, but you can see that in our customer behavior as well. We'll get to that later as well. That people that choose Black Badge tend to be younger than your Silver Badge customer, and hence the color choices are also more daring or more bold rather than just a one type leather color. Just as the standard Silver Badge, you can spec your Black Badge Cullinan with a beautiful shooting starlight headliner, where you have over 1,300 fiber optics manually put into the roof liner. It's really a piece of art, and just as Hal said, this can be bespoke and this can be made upon your requirements with different style signs, etc. The infinity logo, just as with the other cars, is reflected on the rear here, as well as on the front part of the clock. The interior parts as well, you see that dark chrome reflected in here. You have the Black Badge black red tips on the dials. So a lot of neat elements that come together and give you that aesthetic feel of having something that is more sporty than your standard Silver Badge Rolls-Royce. Yeah, that basically from a product perspective, all of this really shows that how much more dynamic the car is, engineering-wise, from a looks perspective. And while it still obviously shows all the luxury that you can have in a Rolls-Royce, it shows that edge, it shows that dark character that it brings forward, and it's something that we've been quite successful of attracting clientele to the brand that previously didn't have Rolls-Royce on the radar, that might have come from other supercar manufacturers, and that's something for them. Then they caught their attention and something that they could identify. So yeah, I think we're going to go through a couple more pictures, and Hal and I are also making some comments on that, and afterwards we just go straight into the Q&A, and whatever questions you guys have sent forward, or you still want to raise with us at that point, we can go with that. Over to you, Hal.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much, Sven, for joining us today, and really, really nice to be able to have you talk us through the product. By the way, guys, Sven has worked at Goodwood, so this is the reason why he is so knowledgeable about all our cars. And as I said, this is about going to the dark side. May we welcome Anas, if he's available, to join us. Let's see if he can join us at the moment. Very busy man at the moment, and
hello.
Oh, hello, Anas. Nice to see you. This is Mr. Black Badge himself. Welcome. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
We have already a few questions, if I may. I've just take one question, I think, at the top of our chat. And so Chips has asked, you've got the full range in Malaysia, so is Malaysia the best market in the region? Sven, maybe if you...
Oh, of course. No, I'll answer that. Yeah, sure. We're the best.
Right.
I'm kidding, Sven.
And why have you invested so much in Black Badge? Why are you so focused on Black Badge? What's happening?
Oh, yeah. Well, we are seeing a shift. That our clientele is getting younger and younger. And there are... and I said this before, they might not be, physically young, but they are young at heart, and they do have that, they want something different, something bolder. So yeah, Black Badge over the past couple of years has been, the choice for a lot of our customers.
And Sven, how are you seeing Black Badge in the region, just to help fill in any context?
Throughout the region, really, Black Badge has become a real staple for us in terms of making the brand or being a sort of an entry gateway into for customers who, as I said before, previously haven't considered Rolls-Royce. It made us be able to reach out to a lot new clientele, and with that also age stop, which wasn't necessarily the major objective, but it came with it. But just as Anas just mentioned, it can go the other way as well. People that feel still young at heart, and that maybe they do want to go and have something, they want to have a luxury SUV that is more bold, and that they can configure it with certain more bolder colors that it really suits the character of the car. So it is it's very hard to pinpoint that it's only that or that. Yeah.
Before I get to another question from Chips, I should alert you, Anas, that Bobby looks like he's after a provenance unit. So get ready to get that check signed up. So thank you for bringing it in.
I'll do you a deal.
Well, we'll answer Chip's question again, and I think Chips, thank you very much for saying that Rolls-Royce Motor Cars Kuala Lumpur is best in service. But where, Sven, can you see that Malaysia ranks in the region? Emerging, fast-growing market. How would you describe it?
Certainly, Malaysia is a growing market for us, and it has been over the last years. And it's something that it's a market that is quick to catch up on the trends as well, as you've seen with Anna's inventory, with the whole Black Badge range. Shows exactly where the brand wants to go potentially, and is reflected as well in the market. And just as Anna said, it's something that the clients want. It's not something that is only being pushed. So I think that overall that trend is extremely positive.
Great. YS Kong, did you say that you can have it in any color as long as it's black? I think the reverse, correct? We were saying 44,000 colors. Is that correct, Sven?
That's correct. Yeah, we don't follow the T model objective here, but it's yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it was originally launched in black, but the car can be made to whatever the customer's liking is. Yeah.
Have you seen any unusual colors in the region that come to mind?
Oh, we've had so many unusual and interesting colors out there, from light blues to very interesting different levels with 10 layers of red. So it really comes down to the imagination and the desires of our clientele. That goes way beyond the active colors that we offer here.
Can we invite more questions? Would you like to, guys, just come off microphone, something like that? Go around the table, perhaps. It is very much a round table. There's something that we can work with you. Any questions that you have?
What about you, Matthew from Paul Tan, Ribbon? Do you have any questions? Can we take a question from you?
Nice haircut, man.
Oh, Con.
Thanks.
Con, you just chop right in.
No, my question is pretty much what Bobby asked. I'd like to know what is the youngest. I mean, this is a personal question, but also what is the youngest customer that Rolls-Royce KL has in Malaysia, and also have the 4 units, have they been allocated? Have they been spoken for, or is it still available? Asking for Bobby.
Any very young customers that you've had, or youngest?
I wouldn't want to put an age, but quite young. I think generally, globally, with our clientele, I believe has gone younger from some 50 over years old to now, is it early 40s? But in Malaysia, I've personally delivered cars to those in the early 30s, in fact. So that's quite exciting. And what was it, the other word?
So these are disruptors and innovators, you say.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, I've got Chip Yaps asking us about the age spectrum for Black Badge. So I think that more or less covers that particular point. Yeah. Okay. It's and sorry, there was a question earlier. Is it from Con? Was that?
Con?
We interrupted.
Yeah.
Was that?
I was just commenting about Matthew's hair.
Oh, Matthew. And did we answer your question, Matthew?
Yeah, Matthew, did we answer your question?
Did we answer your question? Oh, he asked, what are the 4 cars spoken for? Anas, are the 4 cars spoken for?
Sorry. Okay. One of it, yes. But we do have another one coming in as we speak. So we have, I believe, the Ghost is sold, but as I said, we have another Ghost Black Badge coming in. I think probably our final one.
Okay. Okay. Can I just add to the question? I haven't really gone through the press release, but is there like a price list, base price list for any one of the 4 or all 4 cars?
I believe they're in the press release.
Okay.
Yeah, starting from prices without duties.
It's towards the back, Matthew. And if you need to ask us again, please don't hesitate. Sorry, Con. I think you were asking a question.
Yes. What is the proportion of Black Badge versus Silver Badge customers in your mix right now?
Anas, over to you.
Sorry, Silver Badge and Black Badge customers, is it? The ratio?
That is correct, yes.
Well, I would say right down in the middle. So we have been seeing more and more. But the Silver Badge is still very much on demand. So it's right down the middle, 50%.
So, Sven, how does that compare for you around the region?
Quite similar, slightly lower on the regional level. So again, Malaysia is a driving force here clearly with on the Black Badge side. We see around 40 to 50% overall within the APAC region. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Hal?
Go ahead.
Again, thanks Anas for bringing in the full range of Black Badge. Would like to ask, is this specifically targeted against the likes of customer portfolios, where over the past few years I've seen a great increase in people who buy these cars where their budget ranges anywhere from 3 million to 5. They want something special, right? When they go to they buy those limited edition cars and all that. Are these specifically targeted to them? And if there are requests, have you guys met any requests where customers wanted limited edition cars? Yeah, that's my question.
Yeah, I'll jump right in, Hal. Well, yeah, we are. Well, they are basically our target market, Bobby. We know, basically we know what it is that they're looking for. They have been buying, and to my surprise, they haven't stopped buying. Which is a good news. And they're constantly looking for something special. And knowing Rolls-Royce, Rolls-Royce always comes up with something special. We've had, I believe, the Silver Ghost last year, 2019. And then this year we have the Wraith Eagle 8. These are just samples of cars that we managed to get our hands on. There are still a few others that we didn't manage due to the limited number that Rolls-Royce produced them. But I believe, that these are, something that these guys are looking for and constantly looking for.
All right, thank you.
To answer your question, Bobby.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So I guess Linus, it's not about the quantity. I suppose it's about how special they are to.
Yeah. I mean, if I can get a few of the special units, I'll be happy. But Sven here will always only give.
Sven, you've got a very interesting question again from Chips, very active here. So you. Call it Black Badge, he's saying, but naming wise, wouldn't it have been appropriate to stick to black and different shades of black? Black Badge isn't that a bit weird? Is there a story about this, if I might add, with Sir Henry Charles Rolls' time about switching the badges? Maybe is that what the reason is?
Sorry, my internet was just.
Frozen, yeah. So Chips has asked, you've called it Black Badge. Wouldn't it have been appropriate to stick to black or different shades of black? Because Black Badge, a little bit different, a little bit weird. So I was suggesting, could that be something to do with the story of Charles Rolls and Henry Royce?
I mean, one thing for sure that Black Badge was clearly chosen for a particular reason. One of them is clearly the inverted nature of it, you the core icon elements that I talked about earlier with are basically flipped. You go on from the bright silver badge side, you reverse it, and you end up with a black badge. That's one. And I think on the sorry, I think Hal, you have a good story on that, right?
Well, I mean, the story that I've read, Sven, about the history around this change of badge was that they didn't necessarily see the silver badge as being a constant. That when, for example, there were special cars for special people, they would switch the badge in order that it would match the car. So it's just basically underlining what you were saying, which is that you're inverting the logos, as it were, the badge, and that is the signifier. So it wasn't always that we have this silver badge. We also have the red badge, of course, as you know, that's for the experimental cars. I hope that answers Chips's question. We've got another one here, if I may, for Anas here. And this is from Kian Min. Anas, this is from Kian Min Otomachi. Any order from Malaysia for the Black Badge series so far? And I think you of course aren't just talking about now, you're talking about the past. Am I correct? You've got some orders from the past.
Sorry? For the Black Badge series, yeah, we've got orders from the past. Even for the Cullinan Black Badge, we've already placed the orders pending production. So it's pretty good too, I believe, Sven, that is currently being produced. And of course,
quite high end.
Hopefully for more. Yeah, quite high end, I suppose.
Well, let's continue around the table. I don't see any more
What
questions.
about Tariq? Yeah. Tariq from Top Gear. Would you like to ask a question? Tariq?
Hi. Can anyone hear me?
Tariq. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so just to clarify, for the Black Badge, you mentioned earlier the age spectrum is definitely younger than the average Rolls-Royce customer, and Anna mentioned someone in their 30s. So that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Globally, for the Black Badge, is this quite a norm for ultra high net worth individuals at that age group to be looking at this sort of product?
One for Sven, I think.
Yeah, very good question. Indeed, there's a development that we also observe on a global scale. So the trend towards a younger clientele is evident on Black Badge, also on a global scale. Still, but it doesn't mean that this excludes our existing or older clientele. We've had multiple instances where people high into their 70s opted for a Black Badge in very bold interiors. So it tends that one way, but it doesn't exclude the other way.
Okay, I have a follow-up question. This is a question I actually got from a friend. I will not name who, but he is someone in a position to be able to afford one. So he's asking, for something as special as the Black Badge, what is the average waiting time from order to delivery?
So that really, if I may take this up, that really depends on the nature of the order. A standard order, you would expect to see a production looking from now into November, December. When you then want to bespoke your car to the extent that we're talking about your own color development, your own leather types, certain types of recreational modules for the back of the trunk, something we haven't touched upon yet, the kind of the recreational modules that we have, then it obviously, the lead time is extended. Our customers work together with our designers. It's a very collaborative process to finally come up with something that the customer wants. The majority of our clientele tends to have this collaborative relationship with us, where they are going into, sort of to say, the extra length here to come up with something very unique. So you have you have clientele that wants these very these selected collection cars, which are very limited in numbers, and then you have the other clientele that want to, and that is the majority, that want to create something that is absolutely a one-of-one, sort of very, very unique to their desire and their liking, you know. So lead times vary depending on the customer's request. Yeah.
Okay, so there is no ballpark figure you could give me on the average waiting time used for something like a Black Badge.
No. Unfortunately, it really varies. It really varies. But a standard order would be roughly 5 months. Yeah.
5 months. Okay, appreciate that. I guess it's normal when you have the request for high levels of bespokery, right, Hal and Sven?
That is correct, and especially the one that Sven mentioned just now. You may be aware that we had some communications about a recreation module that was very specialized for guys like you, photographer, like a camera, iPad, drone, and you can all fit them in a very bespoke module at the back of your Cullinan. I think also. And that's your Cullinan's a little bit special. You've got a bespoke viewing suite at the back of it as well?
Yeah, we have a viewing suite at Starlight Headliner, so it's pretty impressive car.
Are you planning to go cycling? I heard something about a bicycle rack.
Yeah, we put it's quite a trend now, cycling in KL.
On top or at the back?
In the back.
The rack. At the back.
Yeah, rack in the back. Yeah.
Nice. Which model contributes
to the tow bar?
Oh, the tow bar. Which model contributes to a larger share? Ghost or Cullinan now, globally and locally?
Locally, if I may say, it definitely Cullinan.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely Cullinan. I think it's also the Langkawi situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the no ban guarantee, etc., so that.
Yeah, it's an SUV 4-door.
Yeah.
What about globally?
Globally, actually.
Globally, with Cullinan being our latest addition to the lineup, it's got a very people have really been looking forward to that, and the share versus Ghost is higher. Also, Ghost is in its last year, so they clearly people have been anticipating something to happen. And hence you would understand that one product range being new is in high demand.
And between Asia and the traditional markets like North America and Western Europe, what is the ratio now in terms of customers uptake for Rolls-Royce?
The ratios, I'm not going to go too much exact figures here, but the ratios is very within the super luxury market. The penetration ratios are similar from the US versus ours. The difference in terms of customer base is that in Asia generally there is a where the American car market is more towards buying what is available, so with a dealer. That's generally just a normal general customer behavior that one could observe between the two markets.
I mean, in terms of sales contribution,
Sales,
Asia versus.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Sales contribution towards your total.
I mean, US and China are the biggest markets for us.
All right.
But Asia is in a lot of markets a very growing market for us as a brand, and we've seen this over the last year, and we see that coming over the coming years as well. Yeah, we don't see any disruption to that.
And my last question is the Phantom drop hit coming back? Because when I was in Monaco, I saw a lot of people driving their phantom drop hits like daily cars. They are just in beach wears, and they do their morning breakfast run in their phantom drop hits. Is just a magnificent sight. Yeah.
How come you didn't take me to Monaco?
I was brought there.
Alright.
Yeah.
This one?
Bobby's
So
looking.
now, the Phantom Drophead Coupe is not planned. The Phantom comes in standard wheelbase and extended wheelbase.
All right. Thank you.
Our convertible model is Dawn.
Yeah.
And will be Dawn. Yeah. And yeah.
We have a question from Jim. Jim Kem, just so we don't miss this one for Carlos. So Jim is asking, what about, so this one's for Anas, do the type of younger clientele gravitate to Rolls-Royce and Black Badge cars, or do you have to actively connect with them? And if I may add to that one as well, Anas, is it true? I heard something about East Malaysians coming to see your cars in the showroom recently. Would that be true?
Yeah, sure. Well, to answer the question, we do both. Obviously, the younger clientele, they're just much, they're savvy. So, they do know how to contact us, and they do, take matters into their own hands, so to speak, and reach out. But we do have ways to also connect with them. We employ data science from Goodwood. We basically observe the market, the trend. This social influences and all. They play quite an important role, I would say, in it for us to sort of pinpoint who these prospects are, that one way or the other they are already familiar with the brand, whether through experience or through YouTube videos, but yeah, they're quite savvy, I would say. And what was your question now? Sorry.
No, I mean...
this East Malaysian.
East Malaysia, yeah, I heard that you were having some visits from people from East Malaysia.
Yes, East Malaysians as well. I think, I'm very happy about this, but it could be that they're quite, East Malaysians generally are quite big on SUVs, perhaps, but yeah, they show very, very keen interest in the Cullinan Black Badge, especially.
Cool. Do we have anybody else on the round table who would like to ask a question?
Yeah, do we have any more? Kasans, Gan Yong Lee, Subash, representing DSF. I know you want to ask us a question. Susan, Zijian, Alison, Tom from 0 to 100. Any questions? Take the opportunity right now. Yeah, because we have got very special guests all the way from Rolls-Royce APAC.
Joyce, if no takers, right, I would like to butt in. Rolls-Royce, right? You already have an almost infinite. Your cars are almost infinitely customizable. So what stops a customer who buys a silver badge car by accident or by design and spec it to pretty much like a black badge car?
Sven, you want to take that?
Yeah, absolutely. There are certain elements that you would not be able to get on a silver badge, which we limit only to our black badge customers. One is the power and engineering upgrade. Second is the wheels and the black chrome. So these core elements, from a performance point as well as from a visual point, that make the black badge a black badge. As a silver badge, even through bespoke, we don't cater to that. In order to protect this, exactly what you've outlined, not expecting a silver badge into a black badge.
Next question from Chips. This is for you, Anas. Last time he spoke to you, you were thinking about expanding your after sales or your ownership services. What plans do you have at the moment? Ownership services.
Okay, we have done the first phase of that. Basically, we've improved the workflow, the service center flow, etc. But in terms of capacity, we are yet to increase that capacity. But we have been, as I said, we did go through the phase one of it, which is basically manpower, workflow improvements. And we've also upgraded our system. So I believe we are at an optimum efficiency given our capacity at this time.
Oh, okay, everybody.
I have a last question, Hal, sorry.
Please, go ahead, Bobby.
Recently, the removal of the sales tax has resulted in what I heard, Porsche selling out their cars. Has that resulted in an uptick on Rolls-Royce as well? Because I believe that percentage translated on a Rolls-Royce is huge.
It's quite substantial. It's quite substantial, but it is not a total exemption, unfortunately, for CBU. It's a 50% reduction, so it makes the sales tax 5%. I'm sure you're all aware of this. But yeah, we've seen, especially in terms of interest, I think it sort of encouraged more people to walk through that door. Then the rest is basically up to us. So that's very good. It's something that we welcome, definitely.
Nice.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
That's a good question. Anybody else before I make a special greeting to someone? Oh, we have one from Chip Sven. What percentage of clients visit Rolls-Royce Bespoke personally to discuss their requirements? So maybe going to Goodwood, yeah?
Yeah, we do have a range of clients visiting Goodwood. We have a special client team there that welcome them and that give them personalized tours. We have this the Rolls-Royce Atelier where you can really sit down personally with our designers and spec from head to toe whatever you want in a car. Obviously, it requires a physical visit to Goodwood. Now during COVID times, we've established the possibility to also do video calls. So certainly that's something that hopefully also in the future we can offer to our clients. But people from around Europe, obviously the percentage is higher. I don't want to give you, I don't have an exact percentage of how many people are going physically to Rolls-Royce in UK, but it's a good amount of number that they want to see where their car comes from, how it's made, meet the people that do produce their cars by hand. So it's an emotional attachment as well. Yeah?
Definitely, Sven, Malaysian customers.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely right. I think it's very, very passionate.
Absolutely, yeah.
Group of Malaysian customers, from my understanding. I have a question from Subhash with DSF. This is for you, Anas. For all the 4 models you brought in, how do you decide on the equipment for these vehicles? What is the rationale for your choice?
Yeah, it's always a difficult. It's quite emotional because I'm an enthusiast myself, and I basically want to tick every box if I can. But obviously, I do have to take into account the commercial side of things as well. So, thank you, Bobby. I see that. But anyway, it's quite an emotional thing to choose these options. But like I said, we have commercial consideration, and Sven has always been good in assisting, and we also look at practicality. Balancing between, for example, having a sunroof or a starlight headliner. So these are the sort of things that you always have to, and of course, 4-seater or a 5-seater, right? A bench seat or a individual seat. So these sort of things are always, the main decision, so to speak. And of course, colors. Rolls-Royce don't make it easy. 44,000 colors is, it's difficult. So, but yeah, we try, and so far it's been good.
And actually, just to add to that on the colours front, of course, Sven may have mentioned earlier in the conversation, we have something called the Atelier Room in Goodwood. And what that allows the designer to do, when you have a Malaysian customer who, for example, is visiting Goodwood, our bespoke designer can show the paint creation or the paint sample on something called a speed form. And we can see that under the light that is emulated for Malaysia. So that's the way you can see how your car or your future Rolls Royce will look like, or future Black Badge. Now, let's see if there's anybody else. I don't think there's any other further questions, but you are most welcome, everyone. If you want to have any one-on-ones with us, we can dial that in. I would like to say something, a very special greeting to one of our guests, and I'm not good with birthdays, but somebody has a Chinese birthday tomorrow, and that is none other, and let's embarrass him, Tai Chu Yi. Happy birthday, Tai Chu Yi. A happy Chinese birthday. Congratulations. Are you still there? Are you sweet 16? Okay, well done. Everybody's clapping. Well done. So I think
I would clap if I know how to. But,
well, there is a reaction. It seems on there. Reaction. Okay. This is our first time to do a digital event. So let me sum up.
There it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, well, as I said, you heard now from Anas, very busy man and not always available. We've also heard from Sven for product. So again, a real treat to have him along. And of course, today has been about Black Badge. You heard about how Rolls-Royce Motorcars Kuala Lumpur is now the house of Black Badge, I would say. I think it's about Malaysians daring to be different. Is that right, Anas? The Malaysians are being very different in their approach. Being very bold.
Yeah, very bold, yes.
And so you have a whole Black Badge family, and of course, now completed with Cullinan. So thank you very much, and may I wish you a very, very good week, very good afternoon, and thank you so much for your support. If there's anything else that you require, I think the comms team has already emailed you press kits, and they have the link to press release and videos. Do let us know if there's anything else that we can help you with, and thank you again. It's been very nice to have you around, and thank you for engaging with us. So without further ado, I was going to say
thank you.
We would also like to invite our media to help us to improve our digital event. Please be honest with us. Please let us know what we can do better for you to further engage you. So my colleague here, Cheryl, so she just put a link there. So if you can help us, fill in the form below and put your name at the end of the question number 10, comments. So let us know what we can do better. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you much, everybody. And so we look forward to seeing you again, and there'll be maybe some surprises along the way. We have something coming up as well.
Privately.
Okay. And again, stay well, stay safe from all of us at Rolls-Royce. Thank you for supporting us today.
You too, Hal. Thank you.
Okay, goodbye then.
Okay.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
So there we have it, a digital launch of the new Rolls-Royce Black Badge series. It's amazing, huh? Our country, we have the full range. Yeah. Cheers.